You notice I'm like staring out there. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I haven't done a video in quite some time. I've just uploaded one, but that was done about a month ago. So I'm a little bit behind, but today I'll be doing a Miss England question and answer because it's coming up to pageant season and I get a lot of questions about just about Miss England in general, about pageants, about how they work, things like that. So I thought I'd do it all in one video so that you can watch, because I'm sure if one person's got a question, someone else has the same one. So yeah, here we go. First question. You seem to have done an awful lot for a good lot of people and it's so great to see, honestly so inspiring. You've done so well. Thank you. Was it just drive, ambition? Have you always wanted to help people? So I've always kind of volunteered in different places because I studied health and social care at college because I wanted to be a nurse, which has totally changed. But yeah, so I volunteered at an old people's home, in a dementia home and in a school for disabled children. And that's kind of where my whole platform came from, was the Oak School where I live. So I've kind of always been in that, I don't know how to word it, but I've always been inclined to help other people, I guess, especially wanting to be a nurse when I was a little bit younger. So yeah, but volunteering's great. It's never too late to get into it. You meet so many interesting people. So I think that really helped me in the Miss England competition, if that was kind of what you were asking. Second question is, have you ever done Miss England before? What's the biggest thing to prepare for? So before I won Miss England, I hadn't competed in Miss England before. It was my first time at Miss England, so I was really lucky because yeah, I didn't expect it at all. And what's the biggest thing to prepare for? So preparing for Miss England, it took over my life, I'm not going to lie. I lived, breathed everything Miss England. I was just so into it. I wanted it so bad. I worked so hard. The biggest thing to prepare for is, I don't really know, there's so much, so kind of just prepare for everything that's going to be there. So there's a sports round, charity round, evening wear at the final, eco. So you've got to have, you need to prepare for all of them. I wouldn't say kind of focus on one thing, like there's just so much to do. Yeah, just kind of know what you're going into, know what you need to prepare for so you're not stuck. I mean, with your eco wear, make sure that there is a background to it, because so you have a little story to talk about when they ask what it is based off. Sports round, try and prepare for that, because I was dying for 3 days after the sports round and I was training for it too, but obviously not hard enough. But it is great fun. It's like a big sports day with all of the lovely girls. Charity, make sure you do things for charity because that puts you in good stead for the finals. And also find a platform. As I said before, I had a platform and that was autism awareness. And I did everything around that. That was kind of my niche in Miss England. That was what I wanted to raise awareness for, so that's what I did. So kind of just have everything sorted so you're not stressed, basically. I feel like I'm waffling. Next question is, how did you get your place at Miss England? So I was in the Miss England 2018 finals, but I got that place from winning Miss Newcastle 2017, so I actually won a heat to be in Miss England, and it was a really long process. So I had to do heats to be in Miss Newcastle, and a heat is basically a smaller competition to the next one that you're hopefully going to be in. So for Miss Newcastle I did 4 heats and I won the 4th one I did. That's why I didn't do any more, and that got me my place in Miss Newcastle. And then I did Miss Newcastle in 2017. Then I went to Miss England semi-finals in 2018. Thankfully got through that, and then I went to the finals as well. And I won that as well. So it was, yeah, that's how I got my place in Miss England. But there's all sorts of heats you can do. There is photographic heats, online heats, text votes. There'll be heats from where you live. So Newcastle, London, there's Cumbria, things like that. So there's all sorts of ways that you can get in. Next question. My dream is to compete in a beauty pageant. Where and how do I start? So there's many out there. I do recommend Miss England, obviously, because it's the only entry into Miss World, and everyone knows Miss World. So to get started, just kind of do your research, enter a Miss England heat, so from where you are, so like a Miss Newcastle, or you can enter photographic heats or text vote heats, which are online, and you'll find all them at the website. So if you just type in Miss England, that way the website will come up. So that's how to get started. I forgot what the rest of that question was. So if you're on a photographic heat, you can just be anywhere. I think you just stand against a white wall in a black t-shirt, I think. Get someone to take just a nice picture of you and then submit it. I think that's how it works. I've never done that, but I'm sure that's how it works. Next question. What was your reaction when your name was called out at last year's final? So you get called for top 20. And then I think it was top 10 or top 5. And then top 5 have to actually answer a question online. What we're talking about. The top 5 have to answer an onstage question, and you don't actually know what that question is. So the top 5 will line up and you will get individually asked a different question by a judge on the judging panel. So yeah, and then you get called. So after top 5, then it goes 3rd, 2nd and 1st, and I can't even explain my reaction. I don't think I could breathe. I was flooded in tears. I had the judges around the stage and they were screaming at me to smile because all my pictures were going to be ugly of me crying. I will show my crowning moment. I will slot it in here.
So the winner of Miss England, going to represent our country at Miss World in Sanya, China, is... Who do you think it is? Alicia, number 4.
So as you will have seen, my mum ran on stage. We got in the press because of it. Yeah, she got escorted off stage because she ran on to give me a cuddle. Yeah, she's so sweet. Next question is, why do you think you won? So, I don't know, everyone was great. It's so hard because I wasn't judging myself, but I just worked so hard, and I hope the judges kind of took note of that. I was consistent. I posted almost every day on my Miss Newcastle page, so if I knew I was going to be busy, say the following week, I would schedule posts, so I knew that a post was going up every single day on something that was relevant. So it would be something I was doing in the community, some volunteering, some charity work, or I'd do something to do with my eco round. So I gave up plastic straws, I gave up shampoo in bottles. I was using bars of shampoo and I was using metal straws, which I bought myself. So it was things like that. I'd just constantly keep posting and making sure that the judges would notice me, because there's so many girls and I just wanted to be noticed. I'm going on a tangent. Why do you think you would? And I also you need to sell yourself, where I think a lot of girls are afraid to kind of say, oh, I've done this, I did this, which is really good. And in this kind of industry, you need to be like, yeah, I did that. So I really sold it, because I went to Nepal and I volunteered there doing oral hygiene education for 2 weeks last year. So that was my big point that made me stand out, because I was like, yeah, I did that. I went there and I raised this much money. And to some people it's hard to talk about yourself, but you do get used to it, and yeah, it's it can be difficult to start with, but you just really need to focus on the positives, what you've done, and sell it. Did you do any coaching? So I actually did an online course before, in the run up to Miss England. Did online coaching. I will link the website that I used below, because I can't remember her name, but it was really good. It was an American lady. She does just online coaching, and it's just questions to prepare your kind of confidence. You get sent videos. It kind of just made me feel more confident, even if it was kind of like a placebo effect, I think. Just me knowing that I've done that kind of made me feel like I'd done something to be confident about, if that makes sense. But I didn't do any catwalk training or anything like that. It's more about who you are as a person, instead of, yeah, I can walk good on a catwalk kind of thing. Next question. How does it feel to be Miss England? Just strange. I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to say like I kind of forget about it, but I'm still the same person. So yeah, it's like just become something of my everyday. Yeah, that's who I am now. It feels surreal to be able to go on the TV, the news, and talk about things that I really like to talk about, or really need to talk about, such as mental health. I think just being able to have this platform to do good things is amazing, and the opportunities that I've had have been surreal, and yeah, I'm gonna miss it when I am not Miss England anymore, but I'll always be a has-been queen. The last question is any tips. So tips I have is find your niche or platform, as you call it in pageant land. And a platform is something that you want to raise awareness for. So mine was autism awareness, and it still is. I've also taken on an ambassador role for Papyrus, which is a suicide prevention charity, and that has become huge for me now, because I've been on BBC Breakfast, Victoria Derbyshire Show, BBC Look North, been on Radio 5 Live, I've been on Channel 5, and it's all talking about that. So that's become my kind of niche and platform. Any other tips is, I'd say practice in your dresses, practice interviews, so just simple questions. It doesn't even have to be pageant related, just kind of talk to people about what you're doing, because it gains your confidence and it'll show at the final, it really does. So don't hide away, be like, yeah, I've done this and it's great and I'm great and I can win this. That's what you need to do. You can't go at the final and be like, oh, I don't have a chance, I can't do this. You need to go and be like, yeah, why can't I do this? I'm just as capable as anybody else. Any other tips? Raise money for charity. I know I've said this, but do it. It feels amazing. You're doing something great for someone else. It looks good on your CV, and it looks good at Miss England. Raising money for charity gets addictive as well, and it's a great thing to be addicted to. Be yourself. That is cliche. That is so cliche, but just be yourself, because then if you do win, you don't have to have on this act. I know for me, running up to the Miss England finals, I found it really difficult, and I try to keep this positive energy about me, and I tried to have positive thinking all the time, because I'd worked so hard for it, but then I had this doubt in myself that was, why would anybody pick someone so northern, because no one as northern as me has ever won. So, but I was still true to who I was. I went there and I was just me, and that's the best thing I could have done, because if I'd won and I had this show and front that I wasn't as who I was, then I didn't win. It was the mask that won, kind of, you know what I'm saying. So be true to who you are, be yourself, raise money for charity. Can't remember the other two, but yeah, take notes. But yeah, thank you for all of your questions, and I hope this answered a lot of people's questions, because I do get sent regular things asking for advice. So I really hope this helped. If you have any more questions, then just message me on Instagram and I will answer any for you. So thank you for watching.